Alright guys, welcome back to CounterCap TV. My name is Alec, or Splash, and today I'm going to be talking about CWL Atlanta over some Black Ops 3 gameplay. This game just got an update not too long ago. Was yesterday, 2 days ago, and I'm not actually certain on that. But yeah, Call of Duty content needs to make a comeback on this channel. You know, I posted the one video that was gone for quite some time, hadn't updated the blog or tweeted or anything. But decided to change that earlier this week. Atlanta's got me hyped again. I'm kind of out of a little funk. I talk a little bit more about that in the last video I posted. Played some Fortnite, gave a little update. And so, for anyone who doesn't know, for Atlanta, Pool A consists of Rise Nation, Splice, Echo Fox, Lightning Pandas, and one open bracket team. Pool B will be LG, which is Luminosity, Team Caliber, Evil Geniuses, Team Vitality, and another open bracket team. Pool C is Optic Gaming, FaZe Clan, Era Eternity, E United, and of course an open bracket team. And Pool D, Team Envy, Red Reserve, Unilad, and Mind Freak. And already there's quite a lot going on. Let me start a game here, and we'll start talking about this. There's a lot going on in these groups. The first thing, Pool A was not supposed to have Lightning Pandas. That was supposed to be Epsilon, but I don't remember who. One of the guys can't make it. So yeah, Lightning Pandas got the look. Don't really know what's going on for Epsilon right now. I'm sure we'll get more updates about that in the next few days. Kind of figure out what that means for the rest of their season. For Pool B, LG, TK, EG, Vitality. That's an interesting pool because obviously LG looks ridiculous, and TK was the best team in the game for the first two events. They had some really close series, so that's already ridiculous. Like that just the top two of that group is just something else entirely. This is really loud. Hold on. There we go. EG, Vitality, obviously EG being the better of the two, and good enough to take games off of anyone in that group, if not just flat out beat them. That's going to be interesting. I know I've said that word a lot, but that's what it is. It's all just interesting. Everything, the top two of each group especially, is super close. The bottom two, arguably, A has the hardest pool in general because Lightning Pandas is no slouch of a team. And oh fuck, Swarm. I'm dead. Okay. Well, anyway. Lightning Pandas is no slouch of a team. Echo Fox didn't play that well over their 2 weeks of Stage 1, but we know what they're capable of. They just kind of had some bad breaks, and Rise kind of took off, and that's a lot of it. They were, coming into Stage 1, they felt like a comparable team to Rise. They felt like they were both similar teams who had similar potential. And then Rise just explodes and kind of leaves Echo Fox in the dust. And now the pressure was on Echo Fox. They were kind of looked at to be, you know, maybe a potential third place for that group. And then things kind of get shaken around a little bit. Things don't exactly end up the way we thought they would at the start of Stage 1. And now here they are looking to just to remind everybody what they're capable of, really. Like I said, they didn't play terrible, I wouldn't say. But they definitely have potential to shake things up in that group. I mean, everyone in that's just such a hard... Oh, man. That is such a hard pool. You can't take a game off in that pool. There's no way. Every one of those teams is capable. Pool B, LG, I think, is going to make it out easily. Even though, like I said, TK, EG, both good enough. Vitality, there's no consistency there. LG and TK would be my picks to make it out for sure into winner's bracket, but I don't know, man. EG, they're a good team. I think people are, including myself, are probably sleeping on them a little bit. But like, it's hard to go against the top two in that group. It really is. It's really hard to go against them. For the next group, or pool, whatever, Pool C, we got Optic, FaZe, E United, and Era. that era team is okay. I feel like they're capable, obviously, of taking games. They're good. They are all 4 solid players, but I just don't see them having the consistency to outlast FaZe or Optic across an entire set of full play. E United, I think, has had a rough run early on, and I know this is gameplay, by the way. It's not high tier at all. I've been focusing on talking more so than actually killing anything. But I'm getting back into the flow of things, so okay, give me just a second. Alright, glitch, he pushes me. And I didn't use it because I'm an idiot. But what I was saying, Optic FaZe, E United era. E United's had a bad run, but I think they're a highly capable team. I don't think that this bad run is going to last very long. I know a couple of people that are really low on them right now. They don't think that team's going to get much better this year. But, I mean, it's Clayster. And did you see how RCD's played through all of last year? There's no way that team stays down for long. There's just, I can't see it happening. But is this the event that it's going to happen? I don't know. They played well at the Cineplex tournament. They lost to GGEA Orange, which was, what is that, Nova, Mayhem, Believe, and who's the other guy? Spoof, Nova, Mayhem, and Believe. That's right. There we go. Shout out to COD Gamepedia, by the way. I shouted them out in the first video, but every time I need something, like, it's readily available on their Twitter. Very clutch. Very nice little resource for the COD community. FaZe, I don't know how to feel about FaZe sometimes. I do think they're a great team. I think people overhyped them a little bit. FaZe was definitely underhyped originally, but they had a good, solid run, and then people shot them all the way up to like, oh my god, I don't know how they're ever going to lose a CTF or whatever, but everyone catches up. It happens. Every year. If you're good at a game type, eventually someone's going to catch you. Whether they beat you consistently is a completely different thing, but they're going to catch up. And I think that's kind of what happened. FaZe has gotten better in general. They're just more well-rounded now. But that original CTF hype, I think, kind of put them in a bad place. I think people expected them to be on a god tier level, which, I mean, they were really good, don't get me wrong. But again, everything's eventual. It was coming for them. Like, everyone was going to figure it out. And I think we're kind of back on an even playing field. I don't know the stats on their CTFs. I used to. I would have to spend some time finding that, but yeah, I think they're good. I'm going to say Optic and FaZe make it out, with E United falling just short, probably. I don't know what to expect from E United. I want them to be good. My head says they should be a great team in this game, even though the Twins weren't really Boots players. But I know what they're capable of. I know what Silly can do on Boots, and we damn well know what Clayster can do. So, I mean, yeah, there's no question that team will swing it around eventually. I just don't know if this is going to be the event. For Pool D, Team Envy, Red Reserve, Unilad, Mind Freak. Envy they have improved tenfold. That's the one thing I can definitely say is, sure, people overhype teams when they start improving, or now they're where they should be, or whatever. Like, I don't know if that's the case, because this team had a lot of hype coming into the game. Everyone was happy for them, and then they had some real disappointing appearances originally. But again, Envy's another team that just doesn't stay bad for long. They figure it out. Sure, they were bad for most of IW, but look what happened. Look at Champs. They very nearly pulled off an absolute heist at Champs. Red Reserve, that team is just good. I don't care. They were underrated coming into the game. They were underrated through the majority of Stage 1. The fans more so than the commentators or the analysts. But still, in general, they are underrated. Like, because they don't have the largest fan base? Maybe. I don't know. But these guys are legit. They are serious, and I don't see them having any issue making it out of that pool. Unilad, also an underrated team. I'm sure things could have worked out a little bit better early on, but, I mean, hey, you're here, you've got an opportunity. I could see them taking games off of both Red Reserve and Envy, but I don't see them being the bracket shaker. I don't see them being the one to really mess up the pool. And there's no hope for Mind Freak, unfortunately. I really like those guys. I think they're cool. Absolute champions for the way they keep competing at the highest level, even though so many times it hasn't worked out for them. They have potential to compete and win. Not even potential to compete. We know that. They've been here before. They've seen it all pretty much. But I think they really do have potential to take games off of people. I just don't know if they've put it together yet. Stage 1 showed us that, as bad as they can be, they can also be really good. To be fair, their peak is actually very high. Their ceiling is high. I just don't know if they'll get to that ceiling at this event. It'd be nice to see them do it. I would love to see International COD, even Vitality. Like I said, I don't expect anything from them really in that Pool B. But if either one of those teams could pull it together and really shake it up, I would be very happy. I love watching the international players succeed. For a long time, Call of Duty was the U.S. versus everybody, or just North America versus everybody, more so than the U.S. specifically. Oh, that's raps. Okay. And I hated that because there were so many European players who were really good. Just the general skill level over there wasn't as high. But you still had guys that were absolutely phenomenal players just getting completely slept on and not being able to compete against the highest level of competition. But look how that's turned out now. There's several EU teams specifically that are just as good as anyone in the world. Red Reserve specifically, right now. Splice last year was, just look at what they accomplished. That was a set, solid team. Guys like Vance, Mad Cat, those guys, the EU competition is no longer a joke. And a lot of American people, I think, still take it as that. They haven't accepted the fact that the EU is here to stay as far as Call of Duty is concerned. Ooh. That's pretty much all I got for the pools. But if I had to make general predictions as far as who I think is going to win the event, hold on, let me destroy that guy. I think that Rise is riding such incredible momentum that they're probably going to take a bump in pool play against Echo Fox or Lightning Pandas, and that's going to slow their momentum a little bit. But I think it's also going to put them right back on the right course. Every hot team eventually falls. They eventually take the L. But they've been playing incredibly well recently, and I think if they do get the loss out early and they don't wait until bracket play, I think they're going to be absolutely impossible to stop. Right now, you have TJ Haley playing out of his mind. Methods is possibly the best AR in the game. I don't know how you stop these guys right now. They just look absolutely insane. If it's not Rise, I don't know, man. That's hard. LG, I guess. And I don't want to make it seem like Rise is so far ahead of LG or whoever. I'm not saying that they're far and away the best team right now. I think they're just on a high streak. But that is something you have to consider, that these guys are playing at the best level of their careers right now. This is something to watch. This is insane. And you know what momentum can do for you in Call of Duty. If you come out and you ride the same momentum that you've had for the last 2 weeks or whatever for stage 1, and you go in and your first game of Atlanta, you play that well, that's going to take them a long way. But I do think they need to take a bump. I do think they need to cool down a little bit. Someone needs to remind them that they are still beatable. And I think if that happens, if they just fall in pool play, I think that's going to be great. I think that'll set them up perfectly for a run. But if they wait until the bracket play and then have a scare or a bad loss, that does something to you. You're like, okay, sure, we made it through the pools and whatever, it was slight work. We beat everyone easily, cleanly. I just got destroyed right there. Yikes! You saw nothing. You saw nothing. If you make it through the pools and you've slight worked everybody, you're absolutely destroying people. Great. But if you make it into 1 or 2 rounds into winners, get destroyed, and then you decide to take a bad loss to a team that you probably should have beaten. That's hard. That's hard to deal with. That's one of those momentum breakers, and not in a good way. Like I said, they might need one right now. They might need something to wake them up, but waiting that long, I think, is dangerous. Because obviously, I mean, you put yourself in losers, so yeah, it's incredibly dangerous in that regard. But again, just losing then, 19 and 17, Jesus, losing early is completely different to losing in the later bracket. Like, there's just it does 2 different things to your mentality. Sure, it could spark that same momentum. Sure, it could do a lot of things. But for what we've seen from a lot of people, not many people make it out of a loser's bracket run. It just doesn't happen that often. So to do that to yourself after being at the highest you've been, that's got to be... I'm sure you probably walk into the mindset of, okay, yeah, we took a loss, but we're still on fire in general, and we've still been playing ridiculous. Let's figure out what we did wrong, get back to it, and kill this next team. But it's a lot harder than it looks if you've just physically lost the momentum in game. You know, whether your communication's good or what, if you've tilted or whatever, regardless, like if you're just not hitting your shots the same way, then it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same game at all. Unfortunately, that's kind of how I see it all playing out for Rise. But they are still my favorite for the event. I just don't think you can go away from them right now. Now back to what I was saying about LG. I don't think they're that far behind Rise. Like I said, I think Rise is just riding an ultimately way hotter streak right now than anyone in the game. I don't think they're that much better than everyone. I think they're beatable. And I think it's going to happen this event at some point. LG, on the other hand, super consistent, have proven that they can play at the top all year long. They've been ridiculous. It's hard to beat them no matter who you are, no matter how hot you are. And anyone who faces a 2-set series against LG is going to have a rough time. If they make it in the grand finals through winners bracket, I just don't see them losing at all. I can't see it. I just don't feel like anyone in the game right now can beat LG twice in a row. Even Rise. I don't. Now, if they're coming out of losers and having to place them, excuse me as I drink this G Fuel. I've been talking for like 15 minutes. Shout out to G Fuel, by the way, man. Great stuff. Yeah, a lot of people thinking Optic and FaZe both in the running to take it. And both teams, really good. I just don't think they're going to make the run to this particular event. Optic surprised me at stage 1 first week by beating TK, but then TK didn't look maybe as strong as they did before. Pretty much all of it, or all of stage 1. I don't have an accurate barometer for Optic's success this event. I don't know how to feel about it. FaZe, again, I think they're a good team, but LG and Rise right now, I can't look away from those two as far as who I think is going to win. They're just set in stone in my mind. Nope. Oh, well. Okay, well, thanks for the hard scope. Okay, well, kind of, whatever. But yeah, Rise, LG, that's pretty much the summary of this. I've said those names enough that they probably don't even sound like words anymore. But yeah, that's the facts of the situation at least from my perspective. They looked so good that what are you gonna do? What are you going to do against Rise if they're playing? You haven't been able to figure out how to stop them yet. Maybe that happens this event, maybe it doesn't, but it's going to take something special to do it, or they're going to have to beat themselves. You either have to be playing out of your mind, or they're just going to have to lose everything that they've done in the last, 2 weeks of playing. And I just don't see that happening. There's just no way. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed me rambling about CWL Atlanta. As always, you can find me on Twitter at CounterCap. Same as the YouTube channel, just minus the TV. And if you have any video suggestions or you just want to talk about competitive Call of Duty, please feel free to come find me, tweet at me. I'd love to hear your thoughts as I get absolutely destroyed in the closing seconds of this game. Actually, this is really close. I'm going to play this out. Hold on. Let's go. Let's win. There we go. All right, 15-15. going neutral. What's the word I'm looking for? Even. That'll work. Enjoy the weekend, guys. I'll see you later. Peace.